someone just confirm we're live before I get into it?
Sure.
There we are. I see the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're live?
We are live.
Oh, great, awesome.
All right. Let's get into it. All right. So, what's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, episode number 20, your weekly podcast all about Xbox. If you like that, please subscribe to our channel and drop us a like. We've made it to episode 20, and as such, we're celebrating with a special live episode, in case you were wondering why we're live on a Thursday. If you're in the chat or you show up late, please comment, leave us a like, all that good stuff. But for our audio listeners, you get your episode on Sunday as usual. Now, my name's Kevin, aka the Muffin Man. I'm your host, and as usual, I'm joined by Tom, Aman, and the double A man himself, Garrett. How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Pretty good.
Doing amazing. Doing fantastic.
This week we're joined by member of Game Awards Future Class 2020 and founder of Hey Listen Games, Zach Hartzman. Now, Zach, I hope you're doing well, and before we get into the show, I really want to give people a chance to hear what Hey Listen Games is all about. So I'm going to give you the floor and give us your little elevator pitch, let everyone know what's going on.
Sure. First off, thank you for inviting me to come talk. I love doing this stuff. So I'm a high school teacher in the Bronx in New York City, and for several years now, I've found ways to incorporate video games into my curriculum. Typically, I teach social studies. I've taught global history, United States history, economics, government, all that stuff. And I've even taught an elective English language arts class where we analyze video games as literature. And so over the years, I've just found ways to bring video games into my classroom because it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that a ton of my students have been passionate about over the years. Mm-hmm. Right? I would have killed to have a class like this in high school.
Yeah.
And when I started that process, there's not really any materials out there for other teachers who are interested in trying this. Around entertainment games, there are a ton of educational video games that teachers do use. I kind of stay away from those. I'm just using the entertainment games, usually indie games that I already play in my spare time, and that our students play in their spare time. And because there's not really a starting point for a lot of teachers who are interested in this stuff, I made Hey Listen Games as a space where all of my lesson plans, my handouts, my slides, my curriculum, it's all just available there for free, just for any educator who wants to borrow, to modify, to adapt, to tweak, whatever they want, just to get started on using video games as an educational tool. And I blog on the site also about my rationale for certain games or my experience teaching with these games in my classroom. So that's the quick elevator pitch.
Yeah. So I actually, you subscribed or followed us on Twitter, and I reached out mainly because my brother is a teacher, and I thought your Hey Listen Games sounded amazing. And I'm going to talk to him about it. Really, I think it shows the power of video games, and it's really something that I thought was an amazing thing. So I wanted to get your message out there to people that might not have heard about it, might be interested, and it could be applicable. Yeah, absolutely. You got good stuff going on there, and obviously getting some recognition with the Future Class nomination.
Didn't expect that. My wife had told me she nominated me, but it was only 50 people. And it's mainly people in the industry. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the industry, I'm a teacher, right? So it was cool to be listed and recognized alongside a ton of really phenomenal people in the industry who I've already been following for years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had Lucas Agan, who was also nominated on a few episodes ago. So we're getting some of your classmates on here. You all got amazing stuff going on, and certainly deserve the recognition and everyone to know. So that'll we'll hear more from you at the end of the show, but right now I want to get into our segment here as we start every show of Project XTalk with what you playing. So I'm gonna go around the room and ask everyone one simple question, and that's what you playing. Tom, what you got going on?
Right now, I've been playing Curse of the Dead Gods. It's a brand new roguelike game. You can compare it to lots of Hades, just without the story elements. Really fun game. It just dropped yesterday. And then today I've been playing all day. I've been playing this game called Littlewood.
Okay.
It's pretty much Stardew Valley. It just dropped on a Switch today, and dude, it's so good. It's like Animal Crossing had like a baby with Stardew Valley, and this game's pretty dang cool.
Really? Is it as I don't know. I find Animal Crossing a little boring. How would you, is there more to do in it, or am I going to have to?
I mean, it's like Stardew Valley, so you can go farm and grow some cabbage or bean stalks. I don't know. It's just yes, there's more to. I think there's more to do.
Okay. Garrett, what you playing?
I just downloaded that Outriders demo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about halfway through that, having a heck of a time with it. I like how it's a step away from the other looter shooters, but still has enough tone to it, so to say. Like, it's going through the paces. I'm only an hour and a half in, but I would say it's a solid. It made me more excited for the game.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm downloading that tonight, and me and some friends are going to play, so I'm certainly excited for that. And my big appeal for that one is it's not a live service game.
Yep.
Aman, what you playing?
Well, I haven't been playing much, but I want to check out the Outriders demo. And I've been playing a little bit of Bloodborne, having fun with it. It is a little frustrating, but yeah, I'm going through it.
I have to address something, Aman. So, ever since I added you, you gained 0 gamer score on the Xbox. What's going on? Have you abandoned this? You jumped ship?
Yeah, no. No, I haven't played a lot on the Xbox. Last thing I played was a medium, and I've only made it halfway through. Just can't find time for it. And I really want to, I have a lot of backlog on my PlayStation, so, trying to finish that up and then come back to the Xbox ecosystem.
All right. I see you. You're just falling behind in the leaderboard competition we got going on here is all.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, what you playing?
So a couple mix of games. Yesterday I just finished up Abzu for the first time. Made by, if you know Journey, same genre, very similar game. It's basically Journey, but in the ocean. It's I forget the name of the guy who started it, but he originally worked on Journey and then spun off, created Giant Squid Studios, and Abzu was their first game. They just released The Pathless, also on PS5. Also, Control. The PlayStation Plus has hooked me for these past 2 months with Shadow of the Tomb Raider and now Control, so I'm playing through Control for the first time. I was actually planning on playing it on Game Pass, but then it was just also on PlayStation Plus, so I don't have a Xbox, I just have my PC. So I usually prefer to play games on my TV as opposed to just my small laptop screen, but currently going through Control, and that game's awesome. Highly recommend anyone who has Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, please go play this game. It is so X-Files like type stuff. If you were ever into that stuff back in the day, it is so unique. We need more sci-fi action games like Control in our lives. And then also with my wife, we play. Right now we're playing Super Mario 3D World co-op together, and that's just a blast. I played it back in the day on the Wii U, but I had to pick it up again.
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned Control because me and my brother both have Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5s, but he did play the original Control on his Xbox, and he beat it like in almost one sitting. It was barely any time. Like I think if you mainline it, it's only like 11, 12 hours, but I swear he did it in like 6. But I went with the Ultimate Edition on PlayStation Plus, and just because I wanted the ray tracing and the next gen upgrade, and I'm having a good time with it. That's certainly I just finished. Oh, sorry, you can go.
No, I was gonna ask. You mentioned ray tracing. Do you usually go with the ray tracing, or do you go with the frame rate?
So
at this point, I always go frame rate, I think.
Yeah. So normally I go with frame rate. I go with performance modes in general, but there's something about Control where I don't mind playing with the lower frame rates because I think the quality just looks great. I don't feel like I need it, and like everything is so shiny. Like this is one of the best ray tracing examples I've seen so far in next gen. So I'm doing Control on quality mode, but I haven't put much time into Control right now, just because I just finished Persona 5 Royal after 87 hours, which I hear is quick for that game. And I did platinum it. You can all give me your applause. So I got every trophy for Persona 5 Royal, 87 hours. And they should really give a disclaimer before you go to the final boss fight of that, because it took like 4 hours for me to fight the final boss and like get through all the cutscenes to the end of the game. It was nonsense. I was like, this can't take that long. Other than that, I've put a few hours this week into Immortals Phoenix Rising. Finally started that on my Xbox, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely got Ubisoft aspects of their games that I don't enjoy, where they want you to explore every little inch of the map. But I'm basically just going to mainline it and like explore if things are in my vicinity, or to just upgrade my health and stuff, because that doesn't seem too bad. But I'm enjoying that so far. And then I spent some time getting back into Super Smash Brothers last night, so I had a great time with that, and I'm definitely going to try to play that a little more.
I gotta ask, when is our 1v1 gonna happen? I have my Switch anytime.
I'll play tonight, man. Drop your friend. We gotta give Switch friend codes, because they don't make it easy to be friends on Switch. But yeah, I was playing for like 5 hours last night, and I was like, I wish somebody would join my arena. Like, I wish I had some friends to smash with.
One thing to point out, guys, I think we got our first hater in the chat.
Oh, Xbox sucks. Yeah, he's commented on a few videos. I mean, that's fine. I mean, he might be subscribed if he saw us live, so not a bad thing.
Probably.
Listen, I'm glad you're here regardless, but
joke's on you. You clicked on the video. You're a viewer now.
So we'll move into our news/rumor roundup, and I did combine them this week just because there's kind of a lack of news and more things are rumor. But we'll go right into story number one, and I want to ask you a question. Is there an Xbox event coming in March? According to Jeff Grubb, there might be. He said that he understands Microsoft will have an event for the Bethesda acquisition, and in this event they'll discuss the immediate impact of the deal and other information. He says it's not as big as a Nintendo Direct, so don't get too excited. It'll focus on a mix between business and games. This is backed up by Nate Drake, who's a supposed industry insider. He was over on Reset Era saying that Starfield could be launching in late 2021. He said that there has been a strong hope and desire to have Starfield launch this year. How major the impacts due to COVID have been is anyone's guess, but 2021 was the intended goal as of a few months ago. Guys, what are you thinking? Are we buying these rumors about an Xbox event coming next month, and is Starfield coming in 2021?
Simply yes to both.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Starfield is coming, and Bethesda Event, Xbox/Bethesda Event coming soon.
I just hope it's more than just Bethesda events, though. Like, they gotta have some sort of teaser.
I think in March we will just get a Xbox Bethesda event.
Mm-hmm.
In March, I think.
They'll
show off. They'll end it. They'll end it with a Starfield trailer dropping 2021. Finished. That's where they're gonna leave it, and then E3 is where we're gonna see everything else.
The issue is that they're not like actually acquired by Microsoft just yet. That deal hasn't been finalized.
Yeah, they will be though. When the event, what does happen?
Does that mean the event happens? Like, does that mean in March? Like, they will be officially with Microsoft. We know in United Kingdom they're supposed to have their deal settled in like April of some sorts. Oh. So I mean, as long as if the timeline matches up with it being in March here, then it would make sense. But I haven't heard any rumblings of that deal even being completed yet.
Well,
apparently Bethesda just got.
Oh, sorry.
When did we get the Starfield?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, when did we get the Starfield teaser at E3? Was that 2 years ago?
2018, I believe. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
That game's not coming out this year. No chance that game's coming out this year. I could potentially see a Bethesda like centric event, just to kind of get some hype built for Xbox, but we got a teaser, not even a trailer. I don't think, and I know that Bethesda's done I think they announced Fallout 76, and then it came out a couple months later, but with COVID and with the massive backlash across a number of games that just released too early, I don't see Starfield coming out this year. Next year at the earliest, I think.
I don't know. Bethesda has a history of releasing games way too early and broken.
It finally bit them in the ass.
Even Skyrim
with 76.
Yeah, I think the European Union finalized they approved their acquisition of Bethesda. So I definitely can see if the U.S. gets it done in the next few weeks, which as far as I know, they're supposed to be getting it done in that time frame. They said in the early spring, but Starfield is one where I really want it to come out in 2021. I really hope that this rumor is accurate. But my main question is, do we know when they started development? Was it before they announced? The teaser trailer was 2018. Were they in development, a year, 2 years before that? Because I think that changes my perception of when this game could possibly come out. And I know I've been saying 2021 for basically every podcast that we've talked about this on, but I'm really concerned now, just realizing it's only 3 years, and I don't think they want to release a broken game after the backlash we saw with Cyberpunk.
Especially with the new IP, you don't want to taint look what happened to Anthem. I mean, we'll get to that, but you mess up a new IP and you're not coming back from that. It's very rarely can you come back from that.
Do you guys think Xbox needs Starfield in 2021?
Yes.
I don't know, dude. If we actually get Halo this year, we don't need Starfield this year. We don't need
this year. Halo's gonna get delayed.
Actually,
Halo's not gonna get delayed. It's already been delayed. They
delayed.
pretty much, dude. They said not too long ago that they're done with the game and they're just working out the kinks now.
They said they were done with the game last summer, and 2022, early 2022 is a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, but they said they were done last summer, but that's before people started complaining about the graphics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
people might start complaining about something else now. People might start complaining about something else now. If they show another gameplay thing.
The only thing that I can possibly complain about now is if Craig does not show up in the game. That's all. Besides that, I'm sure I'll love the game.
I don't think Halo's getting.
Yeah, no, I think Xbox does need another big AAA game besides Halo. Whatever it must be. Or Forza Horizon 5 could be it. Starfield could be it. Wolfenstein 3 could be it. Any one of those.
Yeah, but they don't have the same star power, right?
Even if any of those games came out, are they going to be Xbox exclusives?
Well, that's a debate. That's a debate we've been having.
I feel like once the deal's made, then maybe development cycles going forward. But if they were already in development, I'm assuming there's some deals made where it's going to be on.
Not going to be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Starfield's not going to be exclusive. If it does come out this year, it's not going to be exclusive. Because the same thing happened with Outer Worlds. Obsidian were developing it. They got acquired by Microsoft, but it still came out on PlayStation. So I think we could see that happen with Starfield as well. If it comes out 2021. If it comes out 2022 or 2023, then probably going to be exclusive.
I guess it depends on when they start talking about publishing deals and what kind. If they started a PlayStation version of the game. I know a developer from Playground talked about it a few weeks ago, where they said Xbox doesn't come in and tell you to get rid of your versions that you already have. So if they already have a PlayStation version in development, I'm pretty sure Xbox is going to let them complete that.
Definitely.
But I just I don't know if Xbox needs Starfield this year, and I know. You say they do, but I think Halo, the console shortage is going to last most of the year. And then you'll have everyone going through their backlog. I'm still going through my backlog. Games are getting next-gen upgrades. People have plenty to play. I understand everyone wants these new exclusives, but it's not like we don't have a giant list of games to play right now.
Exactly.
That's a good point you made. Like, you're not going to go into a store and just see Series S or Series X just sitting on the shelves. It's going to sell out for at least this year, just due to stock shortages. And exclusives are cool, but Xboxes, they're pushing Game Pass, right? So even if you get an Xbox, you're probably getting Game Pass at this point, and there's an enormous backlog there, right? And there's tons of content there at such a solid price point.
Yeah, Garrett, you've been awfully quiet. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay, where were we on it? Sorry, I was looking up stuff for Bethesda. Well, no, we were talking about how it's only been in development for 3-4 years, and I was like, I don't think that's true. So I looked through a few sources while you guys were talking. Like, it's been in development for 11 years, so by all means,
what?
It could come out today.
Is that true?
Yeah.
11 years?
So yeah, the first one, right when you Google it, says 10, but then there's another link a couple of years down that says, like, it's been closer to 11 years since, like, storyboard and, like, everything, ideas and mechanics were being thought of.
11 years.
So,
wow.
By all means, man, it could have been just, like, the selling sample to Avowed. We've all seen trailers be marketed as both PlayStation and Xbox, but then a deal will be made after that trailer, then they just drop it, right? So who knows? Maybe that was the golden egg that made Bethesda sell or purchasable. So maybe we might see it this year, and we might see it exclusive.
I would love to see it this
year. Maybe Bethesda was struggling with the game. Maybe they needed more funds for that game specifically. Maybe it was too ambitious, so that's why they got quiet, maybe.
I'm not sure.
Because they offered exclusivity to PlayStation, because they needed funding for that game. Maybe it was a little too ambitious, and they couldn't do it on their own. That's why they wanted to get acquired.
Yeah, I remember Imran Khan, I believe, talked about how Bethesda was shopping the exclusivity around, and Sony was one of the ones he mentioned, I believe. But I just, in my mind, like, Starfield comes out, if Halo's the fall, and we say the fall is Halo's 20th anniversary in November, so where does Starfield fit? You don't put it in December, that kind of overshadows Halo. Maybe you put, like, it would have to be
November, when all great Bethesda games.
But that's when Halo's coming out. That's even worse.
Then it could come out this summer.
Not really, because one is like the lead of shooters, and the other one's the lead of RPGs. Well, hopefully, right? We could just all be picturing a sci-fi Christmas.
Yeah, but I think, like, in terms of just like how Game Pass works now, and they want to keep people subscribing throughout, I feel like dropping two big games like in the same time period is not going to be beneficial for them. So they definitely would space it out quite a bit. Maybe 2021 January, February.
Be 2022.
Or 2022. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll push Halo to 2021.
No, not pushing Halo.
I will break my Xbox.
They release it
that game is going to development hell. That game is going to development hell.
I think we're
no,
split
it's
on
not.
that.
If it's basically done and they're just working on like the small little glitches, it's
I think
maybe if like your version of Hell is Melancholy.
If Starfield comes out this year, it would have to be in the summer. Otherwise, it's coming out next year, and that's fine because then I think you get the Game Pass subscriber and console sale bump from Halo in November. And then you get
if Halo comes out in November. If Halo comes out in November and Starfield comes out September, wouldn't that be amazing? Because that's the holiday time. That's when people are going to spend most of. They try to get the consoles, you know. So having two like AAA bangers would help a lot.
I mean, I think
I'm not saying that's wrong.
No, maybe we should look at PlayStation. They released The Last of Us 2, and then next month they released Ghost of Tsushima. and both those games did amazing, right? So maybe this is a non-issue, and we're making it bigger than it is.
That wasn't necessarily because they didn't plan that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because they were like, Last of Us was supposed to come out in March, and it got delayed a bunch until the summer. And then I feel like they just had no choice at that point. So I could see that happening if Starfield needs to be like pushed more and more towards the end of the year because it's not cooked enough. So I could definitely see it happening where it's September Starfield, then November Halo. But ideally, I feel like they would want it earlier than that. Or I don't know, because now E3 is also apparently virtual this year, so they might want to announce both things during E3.
Like, I even think this summer we have a pretty good chance of getting like some sort of big game. Like, Scorn is supposed to come out sometime in 2021. I can easily see that come out this summer. I don't think that would be like a holiday hit, so get it out of there, and that'll help at least curb that summer drought that we get every year, as it is with gaming.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of big titles coming out this year, just not a lot of big Xbox exclusive or first-party games, I think. Like, the support will be there for the console.
Psychonauts coming summer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on everything.
That's a big one to me.
This is a tangent. Speaking of Psychonauts, like, I was going to play the first one, and I was like, oh, it's probably on Game Pass. And then I looked and it wasn't on Game Pass. I was like, I don't understand. They own Double Fine, wasn't on Game Pass. And then I went, and you have to buy it for $10, and apparently it's because like there's some licensing agreement because Double Fine, the publisher, it's a whole thing. And I was like, oh man, I don't really want to pay $10 for like a original Xbox game. That's just my little thing.
I would pay $10 for an original Xbox game if they worked on backwards compatible mode. You don't know how bad I want to go back to some of these original games. They're just like, they're not available on the store, and it's so aggravating.
I guess we will find out. Does anyone have anything else to add before I move on to the next story? All right. Story number 2. And I'm pulling from VG247 here, and it's regarding Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal's creative director said he put a lot of thought into adding a female Doomslayer into the series. ID's Hugo Martin revealed that adding a female protagonist to the game was an idea that was discussed during development. Quote, I've thought about adding a female Doomslayer. I think if we did it, I'd want it to be lethal. I think it's interesting how it would impact glory kills and the weapons she would have. The fighting style would certainly be all aggression, absolutely, but a different type of aggression. I'd really strive to have it impact the gameplay in a way that was meaningful. First question. What do you guys think about a female Doomslayer? Would you be happy if we got the option to make Doomslayer female in future games?
I'm perfectly okay with it. Especially if they're going to do like... So that means that they're going to do double the animations in the whole game, right? That's a lot of replayability, because those glory kills, they're fun.
You know what they should do? No, I was thinking they should do something similar to what Assassin's Creed Valhalla did. You could play as male Eivor or female Eivor, so have both options.
Yeah, but with Valhalla they play the same. And this, he wanted to play kind of different. And I think that would be a good... Whether or not it happens, I think it would be great. But I think it would be a great way for them to introduce like co-op into Doom as well. You imagine, like, it doesn't have to be like the main story. They can keep that straightforward, but they can always have like a separate co-op mode just for Doom. And choosing between the male or female would be great, especially if they have like different features that they can do with each other to help like solve like environmental puzzles and shit. That'd be great.
Zach, you a Doom guy?
They should definitely do it.
Yeah,
100%. I didn't play Doom Eternal. I played the 2016 one. It just too many games. I never got around to Eternal. But yeah, the industry's been getting better in general in this regard. But like, yes, please give me more badass women to play as. Especially Doom, where you're just killing things constantly and it's just like non-stop. Give me that.
So I brought this up, and obviously I expected all of your answers to be, I'm completely fine with a female Doomslayer because you're all good people. But I brought it up mainly because I saw a lot of backlash when this story came out from people that were, oh, we don't need a female Doomslayer because it doesn't make sense in the story. It's just pandering to SJWs. Like, there's no reason for any of this to happen. And I tried to explain, like, if you have the option between a male and female, you can still pick the male version, and this does not impact you in the slightest. You will never even know it's there, but it gives potential players, maybe a larger female audience that can't identify with the current Doomslayer, to maybe identify and see like a badass woman as the main character and really get attached to a series that they might not get attached to before. And that just seemed like a foreign concept to these people when trying to explain it. So it really frustrated me, and that was kind of the main reason I wanted to talk about this.
People really get butthurt about that stuff so much. Like,
yeah. And it's not like they're going into the past games. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're making all Dooms optional and completely going over the storyline. Like, I could see in future ones, easily, no problem. Why not? He's gonna have a kid sometime. Boom. Done.
That would be sweet. That would be a good way to introduce a character. But I think we can all agree that those people are not who we should be listening to regarding inclusivity in gaming.
Not a representation of the mainstream.
Like, when Battlefield 5 came out, I believe it was like a huge thing for some reason. Like, I get it, but it's still a video game. Like, settle down, guys.
I deal with these conversations somewhat when I talk about games with my students and what their experience and gender norms are around gaming, especially because I actually teach a 100% immigrant population, so I have kids from all over the world where some of them had access to games forever, some of them never touched a game in their life, some of them their families literally would only let the boys play the games. And it's so ingrained into so many different aspects of our culture, everyone's culture, that it's a boy thing and that women don't have a place in it. But for just show them statistics. Half of the gamers out there right now are women. That's just a fact. Even though people tend to respond worse when you show them facts these days, they get super defensive. But there were also they're just arguing in bad faith. They don't care that much. They would still play it. They'll yell and yell and yell. But honestly, when I see those reactions, my reaction is okay, don't give an option, just make it only female. Then you don't have a choice.
Really, yeah. See how much their words hold up when it's their only option.
That even reminds me of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Right, introduced the you can play as Cassandra, or I played as Cassandra. I forget the other guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexio. But that wasn't the original intent. Ubisoft made them do that. It was originally just supposed to be Cassandra, and it was overhauled because of this kind of backlash that we see on the internet, which is sad.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think we'll move to something a little different. Story number 3. Drew Murray, former design director at the Initiative, has rejoined Insomniac as the principal designer. Drew Murray announced on his official Twitter account that he's excited to be rejoining many friends and former colleagues at Insomniac. This comes 3 weeks exactly after he announced that he would be leaving the Initiative because his life outside of work needs more attention and headspace than I've been able to give it lately. I have 2 questions, but first, what are your guys' initial reactions to this?
Big loss for the Initiative, huge gain for Insomniac, really. I don't see anything wrong with it, though, he had family issues going on, and for all we know, that the workload at Insomniac is going to be about, a much lesser value than he had at the Initiative, so it's a much less stressful environment for him than maybe, could help still alleviate that family pressure that he had before.
Anyone else?
Has the initiative put out anything yet, or they're still?
No.
One day.
One day.
They're working on Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew Murray worked on Resistance, right?
Yes.
I think he was on Resistance.
And Ratchet and Sunset Overdrive. I believe.
Sunset Overdrive. Yeah.
It'd be cool if we got more Resistance in the future. That was a fun franchise. I didn't actually ever play Resistance. I literally just watched my older brother play them.
Underrated franchise that was ruined by the latest release, unfortunately.
Also, SOCOM.
Well, I love SOCOM. There should always be a new SOCOM game.
Yeah.
But it should come to Xbox.
It's underrated.
Xbox podcast.
Yeah, so I mean, my initial reaction was, great. I love Insomniac. Ratchet and Clank. It's the whole reason I bought a PlayStation. But I couldn't help thinking, was his initial statement accurate? Was he, all the things he was saying about leaving because he needed to focus less on work, and then, getting a job 3 weeks later doesn't really scream that. But then after some conversations with people, I did come along to your line of thinking, Tom, where it seems with the job title he's taken a step down. He's probably gonna have less responsibilities than he had at the initiative, so it's probably earning a paycheck while not having it as stressful as a job.
Yeah, I mean, just transitioning from a group of people who haven't released the game yet, officially on their own yet, to Insomniac, you have well-seasoned guys there. I'm sure that really relieves a lot of his pressure, and there's nothing wrong with that. If I can get an easier job right now for the same reason, I would.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, but I have a feeling it was due to creative differences. Something must have happened because all of a sudden, just because he was the lead on the project, him all of a sudden saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave and join," Insomniac. There has to be something going on there. Maybe him and Phil Spencer, had a fight, or him and Daryl Gallagher had a fight, but we won't know. I'm just speculating here, but yeah.
Amon loves to speculate on the drama. I've noticed he really likes to make it as dramatic as possible. I don't think he's left for family reasons. No way. Phil Spencer and him got into a fist fight in the office, and Phil threw him out on his ass.
No, dude, it was at the flagpole at 3.
Flagpole at 3. That's right.
No. I don't mean a fist fight, but creative differences. Maybe Daryl Gallagher. Yeah. Daryl Gallagher might have had something else in mind with Perfect Dark, and maybe Drew Murray had something else in mind, and creative differences, clash, boom, one's out.
I'm going to, I don't want to doubt his statement, because I'd like to take it at face value, especially because it was rumored that it was due to his brother passing away. So certainly we don't want to throw any doubt on something as serious as that. But I just thought it was interesting because I did see mixed reactions to this story where people were like, "Oh, he left because Xbox is a sinking ship," yada yada. The classic trolls you see on the internet. But I wish him all the best, obviously, and I'll be excited to see what he makes at Insomniac.
So what do we?
Sunset Overdrive 2. He has to make it happen. Sunset
For
Overdrive.
For the PlayStation, 2. Do you think they want that?
Oh, that would actually be so painful.
I don't care. For any platform. I want Sunset Overdrive 2.
See,
that game
he doesn't care. You have both. You'll play it on either one. We're no fans here. We just happen
as long as it's on PS4, I'm gonna play it.
I kind of meant would you think Sony would let him do that, because it is the first one is a game for Xbox?
Sony owns the IP, don't they?
Yeah, but
they want more exclusives. Don't they?
Everyone knows it for an Xbox game. So do you think that they would let the sequel be a PlayStation? It seems just weird. Would Sony want that?
Yeah, maybe they could reboot it, sort of reinvent it a bit. Same universe, maybe. I don't know. I just want it that bad.
All right. Well, I think that's all the news we have for this week. So we'll move into our fun topic, and it's not really fun. It's a little bit of a downer. I'm going to give a little introduction before I introduce the topic, because this background information is important. So it stems from a story revolving Anthem, where BioWare and EA have provided an update regarding Anthem on the official BioWare blog. They say that in the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share that we've made the difficult decision to stop our new development work on Anthem. We will, however, continue to keep the Anthem live service running as it exists today. So essentially, Anthem's dead. It's not getting more content. It won't become the game that was promised. And Anthem, as it exists today, is what's going to be Anthem forever. And now I have a few topics to stem from, but this leads me to 3 questions, and I want to get all of your opinions on them, and we can just have a open discussion, jump in, whatever. Are games as a service models working? Do consumers have a right to be upset when they're about this specifically? And do developers have a problem of over-promising and under-delivering? So I'm opening the floor. Anyone jump in, answer anything you want.
As far as over-promising is concerned, yes. They stretch the truth. They say they have too much ambition on these games. And I think that's where consumers could get upset with what they're being provided. I feel like games as a service, they should be put out as a way that this is what we have, and without any expectation that it's going to grow moving forward. I don't think games as a service is inherently bad itself, especially growing up, I've played MMOs all my life. So I've been games as a service forever, pretty much. But every expansion, we know what we're getting. We know when the next one's coming, if they even announce one. But there's no expectation for that to ever happen, And I feel like that's where the developers have to really lower that expectation for the consumers, or they are going to get mad. And don't make promises if you're not going to do it. Don't say you're going to make Anthem next if you're not going to do it. And don't pull out crappy content updates if they're just going to be just time sinks for no reason and not enjoyable for the consumers. And you're just not, at that point, you might as well not put anything out.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
no, I think the perfect example of this is the Avengers game.
Mm-hmm. I think that I was gonna.
I mean, that game. That game had so much hype. And Spider-Man was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive. Where is he? He still isn't out.
Well,
they are at least still working on that game. In March, we're getting the Series X update and the PS5 update. Mm-hmm. They released Kate Bishop last month, and next month we're gonna get Hawkeye. So
yeah,
I mean, I feel like as long as they get through their initial roadmap of the game, of the amount of characters they plan on releasing, I feel like at that point, the consumers don't have a right to complain about what they're getting, because at least getting what they're promised. But apart from that, as long as they get what they promised, I think that's okay. Just don't overextend yourself, and I don't think they should have, considering their play
Keep
base.
your expectation in check.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Don't expect much. That game was quite hyped, I would say.
I like the story. At least.
Yeah, at least from. I haven't played the game. At least from the people I know who have played it, they said it was overhyped. They were really looking forward to it. Marvel fans, Avengers game, we're gonna get one. But they ended up being disappointed. But yeah, I'll probably pick this game up after the Series X update comes out.
Zach, thoughts on games as a service?
Yeah, I've stayed away from so many of them. I mean, I play Fortnite now a lot with because that's how I keep in contact with my college buddy, and so that's my current status of games as a service. But I've stayed away with a lot of the other ones because of buy-in. Because I'm not, for the most part, if I buy a game 1 month, there's a 95% chance I'm not touching that game again, ever, or at least for years after I beat whatever the main campaign is, right? Mm-hmm. So for me to need to pay $60 to buy into a game that's not done, really. I mean, that's the case. They're not done, right? The idea is that content gets trickled out over time. Sucks. And I would have loved to play Avengers, and I might still at some point, once there is more content there, then I'll buy it and go play it all at once. But I didn't buy it because I didn't want to pay full price for a game that I knew was going to be short campaign wise, because I care much more about single player campaigns than I do about like the grind in, especially with looter shooters. It's the same thing with like Fallout 76. The same thing with what happened to Anthem. Even the Division games. I don't either make it beta and make it free in the beginning, or at least cheaper in the beginning, and then like I'd almost be more inclined to pay $20 at the launch of Avengers, and then just like pay a little bit more as content gets trickled out. But I don't, because at least then my like entry point price wise is less of a risk.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't justify paying so much up front for a not fully done game.
I kind of separate.
I mean, isn't
you can go on.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, no. Isn't every like games as a service title extremely messy? Has a messy launch. No Man's Sky, that had a really bad launch. Avengers had a bad launch.
Right.
Division 2 had a bad launch.
And it's a bad launch because they're calling it a full launch, right? If they just release it in beta, right, and just be upfront, be like, here's what we got.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to pay something to get into the beta, then that's completely different than like, oh, we're launching fully, like we've gone gold, we're launching on this day. It's a very different message than opening something up in beta, which I do think that a lot of these games should, right, open it up in beta, get players in there, see what still needs to be done, see what needs to be reworked, and then go from there.
Exactly. Label it what it is, an early access title. There's a whole section for it on Xbox. I believe PlayStation have a section for it too. I mean, it makes the most sense if that's what you guys are doing.
Isn't that what Fortnite did? Weren't they in beta?
Fortnite's technically still in early access, so I don't.
Oh, they're still in early access. Great.
Fortnite lives in early. I separate games like Fortnite from the Avengers. I think games as a service kind of is like a broad term for video games that are going to give you more content after release. But I think even in that structure, there's like different types, and I think the free-to-play model, like Fortnite has, like PlayerUnknown Battleground. Is PlayerUnknown Battleground free? I don't actually know if that's free. Maybe I'm wrong.
It wasn't. No.
No. Okay, forget that one. That one doesn't count. Genshin Impact. Oh, that's a good example. That one's free. You can play it completely free to play. You don't have to pay anything, but they have the option, just like Fortnite, where you can do it and get more skins and get these characters, and they have that whole free to play model. And then you have the Avengers, you have Anthem, you have Division, and they're all trying to be what I think we all know is Destiny. And Destiny is really, in my eyes, the only games as a service, like actual one that I think where, they want you to commit basically to a full-time job. They basically want you to play this game as your second job and be full-time with that game. And so I think all those games strive to be Destiny, but they've never recaptured the magic, and I use magic loosely because Destiny 1 was not well received. It got to a place where it was fine, and Destiny 2 had the same thing where it launched terribly, and now it's gotten to a place where people enjoy it, and it has the most success of any of these games. But the Division, I think Division comes the second closest, and then every other game is so far off, and they're just chasing this dream that looks to be, in my eyes, a 1 in a million. I'm not sure that we're going to get another game that's recapturing what Destiny has, apparently.
But now, when Destiny drops new content, is it free or often it's paid, right? Or at least the expansions are paid. So like I'm on board with that, right? Don't I'm so much more on board with like paying a price for like what I know I'm gonna get, and then paying a price if I want to continue with the game past that first batch, right? But for the games that have tried it, like Anthem, like Fallout 76, I was hyped on Anthem. I knew I wasn't going to pre-order or buy it. I was hyped on Fallout 76 because I loved Fallout, but I waited until launch day to see what actually happened, and it was just it was a mess. Same thing with Avengers. Like there are so many games that look so cool when it's presented to us, and then it's just not. It wasn't ready for a full public launch for $60.
Garrett, you play Destiny, right? Can you explain to me what it is about Destiny because I played Destiny 1, but I put a lot of hours into it, and it was something I enjoyed playing with my friends. And I think that was the main appeal for me of the game, but I did get bored after a while running the same stuff. So, what is the appeal of Destiny that these other games as a service games don't have?
It's just the engagement almost. That it's always constantly something more, something happening. Like you were saying, like, you could put the game down for a while and then pick it up months later, and your character will be dragged along in a way. Like, I think I was talking to Tom about that, how it's sort of like Destiny's, like, double-edged sword, is that you could put the game down and pick it up 6 months from now, and your power level actually increase so you're not too far behind. So it's always, it always seems obtainable to get to the end game, and that sort of strings a lot of people along. You know, saying it aloud sort of seems like an unhealthy addiction.
I think the Division 2 does something like that too with their expansion, where I think it bumps you to like level 30, the New York one.
Yeah, it does.
Which again, they're probably the closest in my eyes to being the next Destiny, if you want to call it. Destiny. I think Destiny changed the way they do content though, right? So isn't it divided into seasons now, and then every so often you get like a section of story content?
Yeah, that's actually exactly how it works. So they got like the season where it's sort of tied to a new world event that has loose correlation to how the story progresses. But then like they're sort of odd. Like they take away entire planets. Me and Tom were looking at that. Like it's been a while since I came into that. Like yeah, he hasn't played since like Mars was in the game. I played for a little bit in the what was it, the Shadowkeep? No, the Beyond Light. I did that one. And, yeah, like, lots of stuff changes, but they, like, take it out and rework it and put it back out. So, I don't know. Destiny's doing their own thing. But, another live service game that I sort of want to talk about is, do you guys think Sea of Thieves is considered a live service game?
100%.
Yeah.
100. I know.
Doesn't that have over 50 million players now?
15, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
15,
15?
Yeah, I think it was last I heard was 15 million. I think Rare celebrated. Is Sea of Thieves free? I don't know because I have it on Game Pass. No.
They had it for like so many things where it was like dirt cheap, so I got like a copy of it for free, and then like I think I paid $30 for another one first off.
Okay, so that would fall more in line with. Because for some reason I always think of it like it kind of has like a free to play model, right? But you have to pay $60 for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's interesting. Sea of Thieves is certainly an anomaly in this conversation, I think.
It's a unique game. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. It's always got a special place in my heart. You can just put on lo-fi and go fishing, do whatever. Great game. Can't speak enough.
The thing I want to keep driving home is that why did EA say that they were going to finish the game and then backtrack on that?
Because they're EA, man.
Yeah, it's an EA thing. Like they don't mind being the bad guys anymore, because then they can just openly do the lowball move, and like people like us will just, it's just EA being EA.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dude.
Well, while we're on the topic of EA, Jason Schreier tweeted out just like a few hours ago saying that Dragon Age 4 will solely be focused on single player, no multiplayer whatsoever.
Great.
And the EA is going to focus on, after the success of Jedi Fallen Order, heavily focus on single player games.
Good.
Going forward.
Should.
So, is that why? So
Yeah,
that could be why.
they really need to
that could be why Anthem got
recenter
cancelled.
themselves.
Well,
So
that could be why.
that's what I was going to bring up, because they
Yeah.
mentioned that the dev team that was working on Anthem is going to now go and help work on Dragon Age, and that's probably why EA doesn't care what they said previously. They were like, Star Wars did good, so no one's gonna remember, or even if they remember, I don't care, right? So they just want money, so they're cutting their losses there and putting it towards a franchise that isn't tainted yet. And Dragon Age was going to be a live service game, which bad idea. So like, it's good that they're now pivoting towards a single player RPG.
Single player game, yeah, exactly. And I want to see more single player Star Wars games from EA, similar to Jedi Fallen Order. That game was great.
Hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing a Respawn on another one of those. They did a really good job. So
Respawn are underrated underrated developers. They do a lot of good stuff. Titanfall.
Yeah. I completely forgot that they fixed Battlefront 2. I forgot it was such a trash game in the beginning. But at least I feel like with that one versus Anthem, as well as like Star Wars is a huge franchise, and they don't want to leave a bad taste in like Disney's mouth, saying, "Here, we gave you this trash game, and we didn't try to fix it." So with Anthem, it's a little different. Like, we can get rid of this, we don't care. But like, they want to keep it in good ties with Disney, right?
I totally forgot about Battlefront 2. That's another live service game, right? Like, kind of.
Is it a live service game?
Isn't it? No.
I don't know. It just had loot boxes. That's all I remember, and it was like really bad.
I thought they kept adding stuff to it. I'm probably wrong about that though. I bought Battlefront 1.
They've added stuff, but I don't know if they consider it a live service game.
Okay.
Like new maps.
Well, I mean, listen, they only fixed it because Disney told them to. So
yeah,
that's one of those things where maybe if Anthem was a Disney-owned property, they would still be committed to it.
Probably. Now that we also have
disappointed that they didn't release any like half-strung bits, right? Like the teams had to have been working on something over the last year and a bit, right? Mm-hmm. Like, couldn't you just release some new pirates out to the game? Give something to those guys that have been waiting around. I feel bad for them.
I mean, the 6 people who were playing it aren't like, all right, it's okay.
They deserve their space pirates, okay? Like I saw the little, what was it? They had a few months ago, like little artist depictions of what they're going to try to work on next, and like, yeah, it looked pretty cool. But yeah, they could just release the little bit that they had out. Like, what could go wrong? You're done with the game.
I wonder if they even have anything. I wonder if this was. I know Jason Schreier was like, Anthem's fate's going to be decided like 2 weeks ago, and then it was decided this week, but. Maybe how long? I wonder if they've known about this and they pulled these people off, weeks, months ago, and they don't really have much to show, so there's nothing to release.
Yeah, there's just some dude behind a desk that just has Anthem written on some tape in front.
Anthem 2.0
like,
question
technically,
mark.
He's still going.
Anthem lost me straight off the bat with the beta that was broken, so there was no getting me back in there, and then obviously I made the right choice. But
I remember there was so much hype for that game after E3, man. There was so much hype.
Because it looked so amazing.
Cool. The reveal trailer
exactly.
was
fantastic. Like, the trailer was amazing.
It was like the next Mass Effect.
I was like, I
was the
to
flying.
If anything, there should have been more drama with, like, somebody should have tried to sue EA for that. Like, that was false advertising.
I just wanted to be Iron Man, and it looked like it was like, I'm just going to fly through all these environments and, like, no loading screens, and just like, but it's completely opposite. Like, you just go to a place and then stand there while things downloaded and move on to the next point, and it just wasn't an enjoyable experience. And I think, I don't know, I want companies, and this is totally my opinion, I want companies to stop trying the live service or games as a service model. Not the free to play models, like the Fortnite model. That's working. That has the player base that's showing success, and people don't really get outraged about that because you don't have to buy anything. You just download it. It doesn't cost anything. But the Avengers and Anthems of the world, where they're asking you for $60 and this gen $70 for a game that you're going to play, and it's probably going to be bad, but they'll promise you something and then not show up. I just think companies need to stop this, and I'm glad EA has said that they're going to move to single player focused games, and hopefully they never try anything like this again.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much all I got on that. But like, I wanted to just throw in here as well, like something completely different. Like,
yeah, go for it.
Did you guys see the Halo TV show is gonna be like on Paramount Plus? What the hell's Paramount Plus? What is that?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
what that
CBS.
is.
Yeah, what is Paramount Plus?
It's CBS All Access thing that the Star Trek shows stream on.
Yeah.
It's that they're just rebranding to Paramount Plus.
Oh.
Okay, I was like wondering like what the heck is this? Do I have to like is that free? Do I have to subscribe to this?
You're gonna have to subscribe to it, but it's fine, not video game related. But we're getting more animated Avatar content because of this.
Yeah.
Like the Last Airbender?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the Netflix
I'll take it.
forget the live action Netflix show. That's gonna be garbage. Whatever happens there, it's live action. But the creators Brian and Mike left the Netflix show and have now been hired by Nickelodeon again, and they're creating their own studio. It's called Avatar Studios, and they're just making animated movies, miniseries, and spin-offs in the Avatar universe.
That's awesome.
And it'll be on Paramount Plus. So like, as much as I hate another streaming service, I'll pay anything for more actual animated Avatar content. So it's fine.
Oh yeah, that I'll get it for that alone.
I think I used my friend's CBS All Access to watch Europa League and Champions League soccer games. So I didn't know that it was becoming Paramount Plus, and that just makes me excited because now I'm like, I can watch the Halo TV show. I have access to all these things that I was not aware I did, but that's great. I'm thrilled. Yeah, I mean, I saw the Halo news last night, and that they moved to Paramount, and I didn't even. This must have been not on my radar because I didn't know they were making a Halo TV show.
Oh yeah, they already cast Master Chief, Pablo Schreiber. He's playing Master Chief. Yeah.
Oh, there goes our speculation. Like we talked about like last week, I believe. Like, what will we make a Halo TV show out of? And I guess Master Chief's in it, and we didn't want that, or we never. All of us was different. I guess it was like more boots on the ground stuff, and no Master Chief.
I feel like nobody's talking about this.
Master Chief has been cast, Pablo Schreiber.
Like The Last of Us, everyone's talking about that TV show.
But yeah, because it has Tom Holland. So I mean, you got Spider-Man in there.
Nobody's talking about the Halo one, and that's 2022. I think I saw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, I mean, Last of Us TV show did get some good castings, and Pedro Pascal's amazing. He's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Getting him for
people were complaining about that so much. Like,
it's because
I know, right?
I love Pedro Pascal. Shut up. He's a good actor.
Pedro Pascal's amazing.
It's because he's not.
They're going for. They should go for all Game of Thrones cast. Like, they should get Lena Headey to play Tess.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. That's on HBO.
That one's HBO.
Yeah,
I think,
HBO.
Yes.
I have to get HBO now.
I think so. I think that's HBO proper. Like it'll be on HBO Max, but it's made by HBO. It's not made by like Warner Brothers.
Oh.
Dude, you need HBO now. By the way, there's so many movies dropping like often now. Like we got Tom and Jerry tomorrow. We got Kong versus Godzilla next month. Mortal Kombat movie in April. Dude, subscribe. Come on.
What can
Snyder Cut.
Well, we don't.
The Snyder Cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's gonna be so stupid. I love it.
It's gonna be so bad.
It's gonna be. I cannot wait.
The Justice League is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like
I know, right?
That's fair.
But
this hopefully fixes it.
I don't like Zack Snyder. He doesn't make good movies. What is he gonna fix? He doesn't make good movies.
It will be better.
Okay.
I think it will be better. It will at least be tonally consistent with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but how much better will it be?
I can't.
Dude, it was so bad.
It's
what we got.
It's going to be at least 3 times as good. I guarantee you that it's going to be 3 times better than the regular Justice League.
But is that good enough?
It's not going to be good, but it's going to be 3 times better.
Yeah.
3 times longer too.
3 times long, exactly. Length equals quality. We figured out the formula.
Apparently, there's some big cameo at the end.
It's probably like Green Lantern.
Yeah,
maybe as Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
It's Ryan Reynolds. Green Lantern.
Yeah, he'd just come back on crying. He's like, I'm back.
I didn't want to come back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I actually want to see Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam.
That would be cool.
Cameo.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be Dwayne Johnson. There's no doubt that's gonna be good. Like Shazam was a really good movie. So
yeah, he also wants to run for president now or something. Dwayne Johnson.
I mean, he'd win in a landslide.
I'd vote for him, maybe, depending on his stances.
Oh man, we've kind of gone off.
He'll mandate like all citizens to like go on like the strictest diet and workout plans, but we're all gonna come out like looking like buff as fuck. Yes, it's fine. We'll be the buffest country.
Yeah. He'd just start taxing junk food.
It's like
no Doritos for you.
2/3 of them. Yeah, he runs 2/3 of American are obese. He's gonna fix that real quick. 16 containers of chicken, rice, and veggies a day.
Oh yeah, dude, he could run against Arnold Schwarzenegger. He already did California. Country's the next logical step.
That would be sick. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Dwayne Johnson.
He wouldn't be.
It would be literally terrible.
You guys say this. You guys say this because you're not in America. 3 of us are.
Yeah,
in
I'm a
America.
northern neighbor, man. This is just my drama TV.
Like 3 of us are in America. Drama TV. Thanks. It's our lives down here. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We've gone off the rails, and the only thing I've taken away is that Justice League is going to be awesome. So make sure everyone to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna let everyone go around, tell you where you can find them. Tom, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chronicle Tom.
Aman, he's above me.
You can find me on Twitter, AmonM05, on Twitter at PSN, and that's my Xbox gamer tag.
Garrett, you're to the right of me.
You could find me on Twitter, and my gamer tag is Way1G for both. And I'm also going to be on our Twitch stream. Once Mass Effect Legacy comes out, I'm going to be basically doing a full playthrough of that on Twitch.
Oh yeah, everyone go subscribe to or follow our, not subscribe, we don't have subscribers, go follow our Twitch channel, it's at Project XTalk. And Zach, you're over there on my screen, so one more time, please let everyone know where they can find you.
So you can find me on Twitter, I'm at HeyListenGames_. Don't forget the underscore at the end of it, it's very important. If you follow with no underscore, it'll be some inactive account for the past 7 years. And I want that username, so don't give them a follow. Also,
no activity.
Yeah. For any potential educators, teachers who are out there, also go to heylistengames.org. That's where all my curriculum, all my stuff is, and it's all free there. You can subscribe there to get notifications whenever I put up new stuff as well.
Everyone make sure to go check them out, especially if you are in the educational field. I've been the Muffin Mon. That's a 1 instead of an I and an O. Muffin Mon, not man. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
All right.
End
Sweet.
stream.
Hey, happy
Awesome.
20th show.
Happy 20th show, guys.
So you're like
the state of play. The PlayStation State of Play was like 20 minutes long.
Don't tell
They
me
showed,
anything.
like, 4 games.
Don't tell me
Don't
anything.
say anything. Don't say
I'm gonna
anything.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it after.
The last one.
But I want to.